Take it
And
away,
can you hear
Amber.
me? Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I forgot to ask. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I have a logistical thing. I wanted to let everybody know, in case you're unfamiliar with Zoom, everybody's becoming more familiar with Zoom. This is our number, and you don't have to click on the link. If you already have Zoom installed, you can just type in this number, 476-688-617, and that will bring you to the meeting every time. So there you go. It's also in the email that we send out, and you can go through the link, but in case you wanted to have another option. So let's see, I got distracted now that I said that. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. It means a lot to us that people are showing up and we're getting to share this with you. So let's start just swaying back and forth. And I want to remind you, in case you've forgotten since yesterday, or in case you're new, that kindness towards yourself in this time is so important. Have compassion for yourself. Remember that we are continuing to try. We are all continuing to do the best that we can in times that are different than we've ever experienced before. So get your feet moving. And so forgive yourself when you need to. Keep those feet going a little bit more, moving through your feet into the floor. Then let your legs come a little bit wider. The other important piece of information is that there is a full range of ages and ability. We may have my grandma joining us, who is 94. She's supposed to turn 95, but she informed me yesterday from appropriate distance that since she can't have a party, she's not turning 95. So we'll continue to celebrate her as 94 for a while. And then we might have littles, like our 4.5-year-old may join us. And so there's going to be a full variety of exercise options. If it doesn't feel right for you, whatever option I'm giving, try to stick with the smaller one. I'll give a simpler, more basic one. If you know in a more advanced version, feel free to add it in. One more time, bring your legs out wide. And then just enjoy wherever your body's at as you're moving. And then bring them back in. Let's get a little bit bigger of a step. You can bring your knees up. You can go slower if you need to. So you can work the balance of it. You can have a wall near you as you're balancing.
Mom, we also trade jewels.
Lifting those knees up high. And then we'll go back down to the little and faster. And then if you want to, go into a little bit more of a run. There's been a lot of Lego trading going on in our house these days. I don't know if you can hear the distinctive Lego sound in the background. So a little bit higher of a run. If you want, you can even bring your knees up just a little bit and then come back down to just a small run. Again, let your knees come up if you want. And come back down into a little run. We're going to circle, so you can stand by something if you want to. Circle your ankle, one ankle. You can do this sitting in a chair. Circle it the other direction. And then switch to the other side, circling one way. And then circling the other way. Back to the first side, circling your knee. Actually, your knee is staying in place and you're circling your lower leg. And then reverse it. Second side. Again, standing by a wall, you don't have to like lift your leg up high, it can be low. Then you're gonna circle your thigh, your hip joint. It's okay to stand near something. It can be big, it can be small, go the other direction. And then the other side, circling. It can be big.
Show a real small version.
And then a really small version would be just circling here. Almost like when you're wiggling a loose tooth. You can just wiggle a little bit here and wiggle a little bit here. Now we're gonna go to hips. You're gonna circle your hips. One direction. Little bit of a bend in your knees in order to get that circle going. You can have your legs wide so they're not right next to each other. Circle the other direction. And it can be really small. That's fine. Then you're gonna come to, I hope you can hear me over the Legos. You're gonna come to your ribs. So you're gonna try to circle your ribs. And then you're gonna try and circle your ribs the other way. This one can be tricky, don't worry. If nothing happens, it's okay. Imagine that you're circling your ribs. Coming up to your shoulders, circle your shoulders. And then circle them the other way. Now you're going to put your hands on your shoulders and circle 2, 3, 4. And then reverse that circle the other direction. Now you're going to circle at your elbow. So your upper arm stays kind of parallel to the floor and you circle one way. And then circle the other way. Just thinking about moving your elbow joint. And you're going to circle your wrists. So drawing a circle with your wrists. And then circle the other way. Then you're going to let your head come forward and up. Just gently moving through that range. And then go side, side. And it can be small, depending on what your neck mobility is. And then let's circle that. So chin goes down. And then looking up to the ceiling, but trying to keep your neck long. So don't drop back into this position. Just barely looking up to the ceiling. It's like you're drawing a circle in front of you with your chin. And then you're going to go the other direction. I don't think we've gone that way. Good. All right. Now just shake your hands, shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your head. All right. Shake everything as much as you can. Shake your head a little, or you can shake your mouth and your tongue. All right, and then coming back together. All right, we're going to do, I'm deciding. We're gonna go into just a few squats. So elbows forward, just a few squats to warm yourself up. This can be whatever range of motion feels good for you. It can be tiny, as you send your butt back behind you and then come up. Could be halfway. Today, what I want you to think about as you're doing them is what's going on with your knees. So I don't want your knees to do this. I want your knees to stay right in line with where your feet are in relation to your hips. So If you notice that your knees do this, you're gonna think about pushing your knees out as hard as you can. If I were next to you, I'd put my hands on your knees and say, don't let me push your knees in. And then you'd have to push out. We'll just do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, then we're gonna come down to the floor. So if you're in a chair, you can stay in a chair. Otherwise, we're gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna do several things on the floor. So you're gonna be, if you want kayaks, this is when you can send cars through. Okay, if you have a little one, this is a perfect opportunity for sending vehicles or balls underneath the grown-up. If you don't have a little one, that's fine. Then you don't have to worry about sitting down on a ball or a vehicle. So you're gonna lay on your back. You're gonna have your feet about hip width apart, feet flat on the floor. From this position, you're gonna squeeze your butt. And you're gonna feel your back press into the floor because you've squeezed your butt and you've tilted your pelvis. So then you're gonna come up a little bit higher as you lift up. We're just gonna continue to do these repetitions. Squeezing your butt to lift up. Can you be a little bit quieter with what happens? Squeeze your butt to lift it up. Now you can come even higher. It's also completely okay to stay down low and just be thinking about squeezing your butt. If you're feeling it in your back, that's where you should stay, nice and low. If you've done this before, feel free to come all the way up. 4, and this is when, if you have little ones around, they can send trucks underneath and back.
What do they do if they can't go down to the floor?
They can, if you're in a chair, you can sit in the same, everybody else keep going. If you're in a chair, you can sit and squeeze your butt while you're sitting in the chair. So you can still do a glute exercise, a butt exercise while you're sitting in the chair. That's a great question. Okay, so then you're gonna come to a push-up position. If you're not on the floor, you can use the back of your couch. You can use the wall, so you don't have to go low to get. So choose your position. It can be on the floor. It can be on the wall. I'm going to show on the wall first, so you can just imagine that I'm on the floor. And you're going to rotate your body and come back to center. You're going to rotate your body and come back to center. So that's the wall version. The floor version, rotate, come to center. Rotate, come to center. You could also do this off the back of your couch. So you're rotating, come to center. Keep going in whatever version you're trying. If you're feeling really comfortable with it, if you've figured out what we're doing, you can add a push-up to the center position, but you can always stay here. My wall moves, which makes this a little bit harder to do. Let's do one more time each side. Rotate and center. Rotate and center. Good. Coming back to standing. You're going to stand on one leg. This may be where you do most of the exercise. If this is challenging, you can stand by the wall. If this isn't challenging, we're going to do a single leg squat, and we're going to reach like we did a day or two ago. So you're going to reach forward, but you're also going to add, so this is, you can stay here. If this feels good, I'll show you sideways what's happening. You can add into that 2 diagonals. So you reach forward, and then you reach sideways, and then you reach sideways. So keep doing that. If you're doing the small version, you can just reach a little bit forward, challenging your balance, a little bit sideways, and a little bit sideways. Maybe you add a little bit of a knee bend. Keep going if you're doing the full version. A little bit. So it can be very small.
What if they can't stand?
Then you can't stand on one leg. You're going to be just testing that standing on one leg. So lifting one foot, testing it. Wall can be by you. Back of a chair can be in front of you. And we'll switch to the other side. So go right into it if you remember what I've been saying. I'll start with the simplest version. The simplest version is holding a chair or the wall and testing your balance. Second version, holding your balance. You can add a little bit of a bend and stay right in the center. Reach down, stand up. Reach down. You can also add, with a little bit of a bend, you can go diagonally. And then forward, and then side. You can also do a full bend. 1, 2, and you might fall over, that's okay. Everybody's going to be at a different place. Just do one more of whichever version you're doing. And then come back to center. Okay, we're going to do another balance exercise. It's a heavy balance day. So the first thing we're going to do, you have two choices. You can stand next to the wall or you can stand away from the wall. We're going to go up and down. So that's if you want the wall to be by you. This is what you're doing. If you don't want the wall to be by you, you're doing this. Keeping your body really nice and long. Sending energy out your leg. Keep going if you're doing that version. I'm just going to come back to this version for people to see. I'm lifting up my hip and lowering it. So still working on balance. Still working on the sides of your hips. And we'll just do one more. And then we'll switch sides. So the wall version, standing by the wall, lifting your hip up and down. Up, this foot's off the floor. Lifting your hip and lowering it. If you're off the wall, you're tipping sideways and coming back up. Tipping sideways, coming back up. Tipping sideways and coming back up. And then keep going if you're doing that one. A refresher of this one, lifting up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good, we're gonna come back to, and move my clock. Okay, you're gonna interlace your fingers. You're gonna reach your fingers forward. You're gonna find a stretch through your fingers. You're gonna release them. You're gonna interlace your fingers again. You're gonna reach them towards above your head. Not a long ways above your head, just a little bit above your head. And then release them. One more time. Interlacing your fingers, reaching them up straight up to the ceiling. And release. Now you're gonna try to interlace them the opposite way. So you probably have one way you go, like with your right finger on top. You're gonna try and do it with the other finger on top. It's gonna feel kind of funky. Start with the low one. If you happen to alternate every time last time, then keep alternating. Probably you didn't. Next one, keep that same one on top. Go a little bit higher. Up to your, blocking your face from view. And then release it One last one, keep that strange interlacing, reach your fingers straight up to the ceiling. This one I think is particularly strange feeling. And then let them come down. Shake your hands out. And that is the end of the move segment of, I forgot to tell you the name of this all, move, meditate, make a difference. So Jesse will now do to meditate, and then we'll have a short make a difference after that. Timer's right there.
Okay, if everybody could find a seated position. Something comfortable for you. It could be in a chair, could be on the floor, whatever you're comfortable with. As long as your posture is nice and upright and relaxed. And then we're going to close our eyes. Keep them open if you've got to keep track of little ones running around. This is a quiet time in our house. And we're trying to teach everybody this is the quiet time now. Just like before a meal, you have a nice quiet time. Some people still do that. Bring your attention to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Meditation is really good for times like these. It reduces anxiety, improves sleep. Okay, so now we are going to play our first ever meditation game. You guys can join us if you want. And the meditation game is like this. You can keep your eyes closed, just listen to my voice as we do it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to name a body part, and you bring all the focus of your attention to that body part. Keep going. Keep breathing as I do this. We're going to start right now. Ready? Your feet. Bring all your focus and attention to your feet. Your left shoulder. Your right shoulder. Your cheeks. Your eyes. Your right knee. Your left knee. Simon says your chest. Now pick just one rib and bring all of your attention to one rib. Can you do that? Can you find one rib? Now find one vertebrae. Anywhere along your spine, you get to pick. Bring your attention to that vertebrae. As you do this, you may notice that your muscles around the area that I'm mentioning start to release and relax and de-stress. Now pick a vertebrae in your lumbar spine, your lower back. Pick one vertebrae. Now pick one in your cervical spine, your neck. Pick the very tippy top one. I think it's called the atlas. Is that right, Emma? At the atlas, yeah. Now your shoulder blades. your hands, your pinky finger on both hands, your index finger on both hands, your thumbs, the roof of your mouth, your abdominal muscles, and last one, the very tippy top of your skull, the highest part of your body. Okay, now open your eyes. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that first ever meditation game. Let us know. You can email us or send it in the chat. And now it's time for our Make a Difference for Friday. It's probably just going to be us today. Jasper's got a bit of a stomach ache, so he's sitting this one out. And it's a heavy Lego day for the other one. So just me and Amber today.
I'm here.
Jasper,
I'm just not up there.
he says he's here with you all, and he is. He's right over here on the couch, but he's not feeling too good. So the Make a Difference for today is greet somebody. If you're out on the street, if someone just drives by in a car, wave to them. You don't have to know them.
See if you can make it a stranger. This used to be easier to do, but see
Yeah.
if you can greet a stranger from appropriate distance.
You have to keep the distance. We're not saying to get right up to them and shake their hand, but wave to them from across the street, do something, and it'll really brighten their 5 minutes. And that's good. Maybe somebody else will brighten their next 5 minutes.
Or maybe
So,
they'll then brighten somebody else's 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
it could have a ripple effect.
so that's the Make a Difference for today.
And we wanted to tell you, if you guys have Make a Difference ideas, please let us know. You can email us. You can put it in the chat function because we're looking for ideas. So if you have ideas, pass them on to us, please.
And tomorrow is Saturday. It'll be the last day of this for the week. And it's going to be kind of a special day. So I know there's going to be a temptation to sleep in a little bit on Saturday, but you might miss out. You don't know what's going to happen over
We
here
encourage
at
you
the
to make
Walker's
it.
house. It could be anything. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oh, tree.